Life moves fast, so I tried to take this day to slow down, reflect, and soak in the moments that mattered. Over the past 10 months, I've experienced new life seasons. I got engaged, got my first full-time job, transitioned into the 9-to-5 life, and then got my second full-time job. It's exciting getting new opportunities, and I fully welcome them. I don't want to miss out on things that could help enrich me and my perspective on life, so I will often say yes to basically anything. Most of the time, it turns out great. I end up having a fun time and I learn a lot. But working full-time exposed the dangers of being a yes person. Essentially, it's just a one-way ticket to burnout. I had no idea how to conduct myself in the workplace. My only answers were, I can definitely do that, and of course, no problem at all. I didn't allow myself to create boundaries, and I poured everything I had into my work, and when I logged off for the day, it felt like I left nothing for myself. I was exhausted. It was easier for anxiety to creep in, and I was stuck in a continuous cycle of beating myself up at work and in my personal life for not sticking up for myself and taking on responsibilities I couldn't handle long term. Saying no never felt like an option for me at work, but the time came for me to say the biggest no. Another job opportunity came along, and I needed to make a decision whether or not I wanted to take it. The decision seemed really hard at the time, but I realized it was only hard because I was scared out of my wits in taking the initiative to tell my employers about it, and really worried how I would be viewed after, since I was only in that role for a few months. I'm extremely non-confrontational and prefer to avoid conflict to the point where I won't even try to take any action and I will just cry about it later. I turned to my family and my friends about the situation, and they all said the same thing. Right now, it's about what you think is best for you. Don't base your decision around how they'll react. I was thinking, yeah, but is there an easier way to do it? There wasn't. I had to face my fear of sticking up for myself. And so, after a few sleepless nights and lots of prayer, I mustered up the courage to do it. And it didn't really go the way I wanted it to go. But I made it to the other side and turned in my 2 weeks. It doesn't seem like a big deal in the scope of things, but I think that was one of the first times where I stood my ground in my decision, even though I was so scared and worried about how I would be viewed. This experience completely changed my mindset and how I can approach my decision-making moving forward. Not everyone needs to be impressed by what I do or who I am, and coming to terms with that, both in my work and personal life, was so freeing, and it allowed me to set firmer boundaries for myself to prevent spiraling into burnout and exhaustion. I'm still working on it, and I still don't know what I'm doing half the time, but now I know that I have the strength to choose to take each day in stride, knowing that I don't have to make decisions based on reactions. So it's okay to say no, and it's okay if people aren't okay with that.